Hey everyone, this is Geeky Panda here on the Geeky Panda blog, doing a video. I'm going to be talking about my military brat life, my Navy Brat life, because for those who don't know, yes, I grew up a Navy Brat or military brat, and when you hear military brat, for those who don't know, military brats is basically kids who was born and grew up in a military family where their mother or their father or both, were in the military. So obviously, either you go base to base, do all that dandy stuff because you have to move around every 5 or 6 years, give or take. And yeah, for me, I am originally from Honolulu, Hawaii, because that's where my dad was stationed there at the time. I was born in Tripler Army Hospital, aka the Pink Hospital, which it was built backwards. A little trivia history there. And my dad was already stationed there for a while, and him and my mother, they had me, and we lived there after I was born for another 4 years because my sister was born. But I remember certain things about Honolulu, including my mom asking me whether I want to swim in the pool or the beach, and I'm like, what do I want to swim in? So people are asking me, "Oh, you're Hawaiian?" Like, no, I'm not really. I'm not of Hawaiian native blood. I was just born there. I was. So, uh, after that, we moved to Andrews Air Force Base in Washington D.C. Then after that, it was Groton Sub Base here in Connecticut. Now, do note that being a military brat, when I was growing up, we didn't have as much of the amenities or the conveniences that we had back then now, because one thing that comes into mind is you're gonna make friends, but you're gonna lose them just as quick, because either the friends you made, their families got to move, so oops, you're a friend down basically, or you move. So, and back then when I was growing up, it was like phone call, maybe the occasional letter, but that was it. Nowadays, you got stuff like Facebook, texting, Skype, for God's sakes. You can keep in touch, no problem. And back then, we didn't have that. Especially you can use Skype to contact, your family and stuff when they're deployed. I didn't even have that. I was looking to get a phone call, for God's sakes, while growing up as a kid. Which you have to remember that you have to get, your parent, your family, might not be there with you because they are deployed somewhere. Like for me, my dad was deployed months at a time because he was a mariner, and I had to get used to it. That was my reality. Oh, hold on, I got to sip this real quick. Some people are attached to their families a lot. This to me, it's like, yeah, it kind of sucks. I got to roll with the punches though. Like my dad was there for me at some key moments in my life, but he wasn't there, all the time. And it was a reality. I was growing up in that thing. But other things to note for military bases, they always have the commissary, stuff like grocery store. They also have electronics, movies, games, furniture to buy, haircuts, like fast food places like Pizza Hut and Mickey D's. Like the thing is, sorry. The thing is about this is on base, you don't have to pay any sales tax at all. Yeah, no sales tax. So basically, my family utilized this to the best of its ability, basically, because go to the grocery store there, no taxes. You saved a good bit of money. We bought new furniture, we bought new electronics, including game systems, and movies and stuff. We always got our haircuts there. Everything. Our lives was centered around military housing and the on-base, the commissary and its activities, because not only does the base, have the commissary, but it could have a swimming area, laser tag, movie theater, which I think it was Free Movie Fridays, where they show movies. It was completely free on Fridays, but if you want to buy a soda or candy or popcorn, it costs extra. Military does provide. I still remember going on base to get a haircut. Good God. This was back then when I was a kind of young kid, just. I remember I also have to have a dependent ID, which it was required for you to have to get on base. It was basically a military ID for family members, which has on there that it's a valid ID, by the way. It just picture you, and there's information on like who are you dependent of, your mother, your father, what's branch of the military, what was their rank, etc., etc. You know, it was a way to get in the base. And I honestly don't remember much because I remember a lot of things about the ground side base, but I don't remember much about Honolulu or Andrews Air Force Base in Washington D.C., which was a multi-branch base, by the way. But other things to note that you have to remember, growing up, I was always having the urge to figure, like, okay, we're here. When are we moving? you know, because it's not like to other people, like, okay, maybe they'll move once, once in a blue moon, once or twice, but for military families, it was like pick up every 5 to 6 years, pick up your shit and go. Like, I asked my dad how that, like, he told me, he did his part, he did good enough to get stationed in Honolulu, Hawaii finally, and then after 10 years of being there, or something like that, my dad told me he got bored of Hawaii and wanted to leave, and that it was so expensive living there, even with the military housing and benefits. And, we just, we just moved around a lot. And for me, my social skills wasn't that good. Like, yeah, I made some friends, but they weren't long enough to last. And, you can imagine, I was a very shy fucking kid. Like, Kel, like, growing up until college, I was extremely shy because of it. There are ups and downs to this, like if I had a very few close friends, but I was really, really shy. And like also the thing is like when people were like watching those videos of like soldiers coming back, to their families and stuff like that. Yeah, I had those moments as well. One time, my dad just got back from deployment. We were at the sub base. And as soon as he got off the sub onto the dock, we were like, because we were right there on the dock, we had all these families, all these families were waiting right on there, as well. And as soon as I saw him, me and my sister, my younger sister, we booked it. We were like we were young kids. We were just right to him. And I jumped up on him, gave him a hug, told him I missed him and all that stuff. And my sister did the same, but the thing was that I didn't know that there was a camera crew right behind us filming because they were doing a piece on, the soldiers coming back from their deployment and all that stuff. And so they told my parents, like, yeah, on this channel at this time you can watch it, and we recorded you that we're going to be using you guys for this news piece. And I'm like, oh wow, like, yeah, I had those, welcome back moments where my father, came back and all that stuff, and I was like, it was always a great thing because it's like, wow, Dad's back, and me and my dad, we got along. We were like, he's a huge geek, so he got me into a lot of geeky things, which, heck, Navy. Geeks and nerds, right? So, yeah. Do I miss it? Yeah. In a way, yeah, because it was an experience. I moved around to different places, which you have to be adaptable. That's the one thing. You have to be adaptable to, like, new situations, and you have to, do it quickly. Because, if I was... if I had my personality now, back when I was a kid, oh man, it would be more easier. But I still know how to adapt. I, figure out, what the house, figure out the location, what's the place to go, my school, my new classmates and all that stuff. Yeah. And it was definitely, it had its high points and its low points because, again, my dad wasn't there all the time because he was on deployment. And for those, if you miss your family a lot, like their father a lot, and if they're gone, it sucks. Yeah, but you have to, there's nothing you can do. They took an oath. They, signed up for, they're doing their duty. But when they come back, then, all the time in the world with them. But when they're gone, it is hard. I have to say, it is really hard. But, it's something you have to live with. It's inconvenient, but it does have its good moments, though. So I would gladly live it all over again. Just now, I know. Now, like, I'm just jealous now that, like, Facebook, Skype, and all that, and texting and all that shit. I'm like, I'm jealous of you guys now. I'm like, wow. Like if my dad, if he left sooner, before I was born in Hawaii to a different country, the cool thing is that if your military family is in a different country and you were born in that country, you would have dual citizenship. Like, if I was born in Japan, you know, because of my military, because that's where we were, stationed at the time, I would have both U.S. citizenship and Japanese citizenship, and you know, it's dual citizenship. And yeah, I've been to different countries before. Like when my dad was stationed in England, we went to visit him, and it's interesting because all these experiences, traveling and all that stuff, what I went through, the base, these are all my things, my memories, my experiences. These are mine, and you know, like I remember when recently, like a year or two ago, they were trying to rename the word, you know, the term military brat to like champs, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, no, military brat. Just let it be, you know, please, you know, just let it be. So, but that's about it for my military brat life. I might talk about it a little bit more in detail, but you know, that's basically what I wanted to say. Yeah, it's tough, but you have to manage, and you have to be ready to move to the next, you know, to where your father and mother are being, you know, stationed at every 5 to 6 years, depending. So, yeah. But that's about it for today. Post down there in the comment box if you enjoyed the video, or if you are a military brat yourself, including what branch was your family in, and where did you go? Where were you born? Where, you know, what places did you move to, and all that, and your stories. You know, please post it down there in the comment box. Also, don't forget to like the video, and above all else, if you aren't already, please subscribe to my channel. It really does help out. And this is the Geeky Panda here on the Geeky Panda blog, signing out. And remember, stay geeky, my friends. And I also want to say to all those serving the military, both current, reserved, and retired, you know, I thank you for your service. So that's it, everyone. Good night.